Hey everyone, it's the Seacrow here. Just wanted to take some time to talk about this deck that everyone's been playing on the ladder lately, which has been Quest Rogue. Here, 2 days after Ungoro came out. It's all over Reddit, it's all over Hearthstone. Everyone's talking about this deck, so I just wanted to make a quick video showing off my version of it and talk a little bit about my card choices and then show it in action a little bit. So got the list right here. You can see preparation, it's pretty standard. It's super useful to pump out the quest early. It's good with Vanish, which I'll talk about in a bit. And then it's also good with Eviscerate, of course. Shadow Step, one of the main return spells. The main function of this deck, for those of you that don't know, is the quest, the Caverns Below. So we're trying to play 4 minions with the same name. The main way we're going to accomplish this is with cards like Shadow Step and Gettizen Ferryman and Youthful Brewmaster, easy for me to say, which all can return minions to our hand, giving us a chance to play them again. And then there's a couple different versions of lists that have been running around. Some run these elementals here, the Firefly and the Igneous Elemental. I like them in the list because it gives you multiple ways to be able to proc the quest, and you can do it really early with a combination of these cards, leveraging the fact that the Firefly adds a 1/2 elemental to your hand, and the Igneous Elemental has a Death Rattle that also adds 1/2 elementals to your hand, but they're actually the same minion. They're both going to be the Flame Elemental token, so both of these cards are creating a minion with the same name, which can then go towards fulfilling the quest. Also in here we have the Celsi Deckhand. It's really good early game board to fight for the board, as well as late game it's just a 5/5 charger for 1 mana once you've activated the quest. It's also a pirate, so it'll pull patches from the deck for us. We have Stone Tusk Boar, another 1 mana charger. These you're pretty much going to hold on to until you've activated the quest. There's really no point in playing them earlier than that. They're mostly just going to be a finisher. We've got Swashbuckler, another pirate to pull patches out of the deck, and then it's great a bounce target because every time you play it, you get a random class card from your opponent's hand, thus refilling your hand and giving you fuel to keep going. We've got Eviscerate here to have some removal in the early game. Novice Engineer, another cheap minion, draws us a card to cycle through our deck faster, and another really good bounce target. Edwin Van Cleef is interesting. I've been trying some versions with and without him. I found it's really good to have in here because it gives the deck another way to win against, especially in the mirror or against aggressive decks like Pirate Warrior. You really might not have time to finish the quest and get your 5/5s rolling. So by getting just a couple cheap spells and getting a really early big Edwin, sometimes you can just win that way. So it gives you an alternate win condition, which is really important for the deck, because otherwise, I'm running a pretty greedy list. It really goes all in on the quest. We do have Fan Knives here just to have some removal. It's good in the mirror, because they'll have a wide board that we need to take care of somehow. And then I've got the 1 copy of Vanish. Running into a lot of Taunt Warrior, thought it would be good to clear big board states, and then because I have such cheap minions, I can sort of refill my board faster than the opponent. And I didn't really get a chance to use it too well in the games so far, but I kept 1 copy of it in there just to have the option. Then I've got the Runic Egg in here, which I don't see a lot of people running. I'm not convinced it's great yet, but since it's only 1 mana, it's kind of, you can just throw it out on the board whenever you have a spare mana. And they don't really want to kill it because it draws you a card, but if they don't kill it, it's going to become a 5/5 later, inevitably. So it kind of creates an awkward situation for them where they kind of have to kill it and give you the card. And eventually it is going to die, and then maybe just to incidental AoE as well, and refuel that way. So that's sort of my deck here. There's a lot of different ways to fulfill the quest. You can either get a 1 mana guy and bounce him. You can go for the elemental plan. You can get something with like a crazy prep vanish, like play 2, prep vanish, play 2 again. So yeah, it's a pretty standard list. Couple, like the Runic Egg, I think, is something that's a little bit different, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into some games and see it in action. Alright, so jumping into a game here. And we are up against Jaina. So looking at this, Deckhand isn't really a card we want to keep early because it's not a good bounce target, and then Fan and is not really useful against Mage, as most mages right now are running more of the stall quest sort of mage. So now we have 3 bounce effects in our opening hand. It's a good start, and I'm just looking for a minion that we can use those bounce effects on now to start to get the quest rolling here. Boar is not what we're really looking for here. Just going to play the quest, pass. As I said when I was talking about the deck, Boar is more a card we're going to hold until we have already activated the quest so that we can use it as a 1-mana charging 5/5. This is here is a great pickup with the Igneous Elemental. We can coin it out, it's perfect, and it's going to give us 2 of those 1/2 Flame Elementals, and we'll be able to start bouncing those to fulfill the quest once he kills this. Or we can trade it into the Apprentice. Okay, so he's got Frostbolt for that. It's no problem. This turn now we'll just play one of the Flame Elementals and then we can return it to our hand right away. And we're 1/4 of the way there. Fairman's also really good here. It challenges the Sorcerer's Apprentice. If he doesn't have another spell here, we can just trade in. Okay, I think he's looking for an answer. And he doesn't have one, so this is a really good situation now, is we're going to be able to trade off into the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And play 2 more Elementals. Sure, we can just activate the quest here with Shadow Step. And even sneak in a Novice Engineer. Or actually, yeah, we'll just take her out. So next turn we can turn both those guys onto the board that are already on the board, into 5/5s by playing the quest if he doesn't remove them here. Which doesn't look like he's going to do here with the Barnes. Well, the Phoenix off of the Barnes is very good. We're just going to play the quest here. It's me testing my video editing capabilities. Bear with me. So now he's in trouble. Now he knows we're just going to put pressure on every turn. Plays the 6/6. I'll go ahead and use Fan and trade in one of my dudes here. Now that we have the Boar, we're more looking for more return effects and just to put in damage. With the Boar, since it has charge, every time you return it, it can attack again. So using the Fan and Eyes there just to cycle for more finishing power here. And this is a situation where I like the egg, because it's just, once the quest has been activated, it doesn't matter that it's a 0/2. It's just 1 mana, 5/5 Death Rattle, draw a card. It's very good. Where we fail on the quick return. But yeah, just like that. It's very powerful. Turn 7. We're able to finish this mage. And that was the power of the bounce effect on the boar. And the importance of why I have 5 1-mana chargers in this deck with the 2 deckhands, 2 boars, and patches. So now we go against the Warlock. Gul'dan. So this starting hand isn't great. It does have the Swashbuckler, which is a good bounce target, and it has the Igneous Elemental to start getting the Elemental plan going. Still missing some tools, but the Firefly pickup is really good. Now we know we have at least 3 of those Flame Elementals sort of on the way with... but I actually messed up really bad here. I played the Flame Elemental token before actually playing the quest. So neither one of those guys, they don't count towards the quest if you haven't played the quest yet. So by playing that before the quest, I actually wasted the Flame Elemental. And at that point, I pretty much thought this game was over. And then with we picked up patches the turn we play Swashbuckler. What I think the actual correct sequence for this turn, for this opening hand would have been to play Swashbuckler turn 1, and then turn 2 play the quest and the Firefly. Turn 3 into the Igneous Elemental. This Darkshire Councilman really needed to be removed right away because it, with summoning just 1 more minion, it would have been able to sort of trade into all my stuff, and with that 5 health, it would have really severely controlled the board here in the early game, and we couldn't have that, so the Eviscerate pickup was really good there. And this, luckily, we have Fanonized for. Pretty obvious play on this turn. And again, here's where I really like the Runic Egg. Just had 1 mana that would have been floating otherwise, and instead I can spend it and throw that card out there. And then he concedes. He conceded to the Runic Egg. So now we go against Soul Warrior. This is a tougher call on the mulligan right now because it's kind of been about an equal split in my experience between Pirate Warrior and Taunt Warrior, which are completely polar opposite decks. And so it's hard to know which to mulligan for, and that's why I throw away the Fanonize, because it's completely useless against the Taunt Warrior. And it's often too slow against Pirate Warrior, so I just went ahead and threw it away. Now here, we got 2 Novice Engineers in the starting hand, which is amazing, especially with the Shadow Step. So now, we just go ahead and play the quest on turn 1. With the second Shadow Step pickup, we already have enough cards in our hand to activate the quest here. We can go Novice Engineer, Shadow Step, Novice Engineer, Shadow Step. And then on the next turn, play Novice Engineer and the free other Novice Engineer, which will still be sitting in our hand safely. I think with the Firefly pickup, we don't remember what I. Okay, we played the Firefly. I was figuring with the 3 1/1s from him already on the board, I really needed to just start contesting the board. And with this, I could get 3 1/2s out. As we're about to find out, this isn't going to go very well at all for me. And so looking back at this game, I'm not really sure still what the correct line of play was here. I admit I wasn't really thinking about the South Sea Captain, but going for the Novice Engineer bounce I think would have been too slow as well. I think pretty much just had to accept the defeat in that situation with the 3 pirates into the South Sea Captain. Too strong for me to handle there. But that's alright. We fret not, we forge on. Going against a Paladin. Swashbuckler, as I was talking about, is a really good target to bounce because it gives you a card each time. Picking up the Firefly, though, will probably go for the Elemental plan. Then picking up the second Firefly will definitely go for the Elemental plan. The question, what I was thinking about here was the difference between playing the quest. You could play just the quest, you could play just one Firefly, you could play the quest and a Firefly, or you could play 2 Fireflies. I went with this route because it gives me the most early board presence, and most of the Paladin decks that I've seen so far have been some sort of like cheap flood the board Murloc Paladin or just small Divine Shield shenanigans. And so I wanted to just get the dudes out on the board and then use the Flame Elementals to actually complete the quest. And since I'm going to use the Flame Elementals to complete the quest, not the Firefly itself, I don't need to play the quest until I start playing the Flame Elementals. So here now, we're really fighting for the board quite well. We can play Swashbuckler to pull patches. Here's another situation where I feel like Runic Egg is strong. Going into his turn 4 consecrates a definite possibility here. With the Runic Egg, though, I would at least draw a card off of this. He didn't have it, though, in this instance. Oh, we're still 1 Flame Elemental short of being able to finish the quest. I think... Oh yeah, picking up the Noble Sacrifice there. was really trying to play around AoE because I couldn't figure out what would be in his hand. But it had to be some sort of AoE, board clear type deal. Um, so that's why I wasn't playing. This is all the minions in my hand. I wanted to keep some stuff to be able to refill after. That's why I just went for the dagger and hero and dagger to the face. Hey, the noble sacrifice actually saves my little firefly guy. So this is a situation where Van Cleef is pretty good. I can't fulfill the quest yet, but I do have the ability to just throw out a 6/6 onto the board, which is a threat that definitely has to be answered. It's gonna put a real clock on him. So here without Van Cleef, I'm pretty much doing nothing. I probably would be just cycling Fan Knives, or maybe just playing a couple more Flame Elementals, but not really doing anything very threatening. But with the Van Cleef, it's just another thing that he has to answer, giving me more time to execute my quest plan. Unfortunately for us, that 30 right came a turn late. Now picking up the Igneous Elemental, we know we're going to be able to get our fourth Flame Elemental. That's why I play that this turn, just throw it out there because I actually want it to die. I need the Death Rattle trigger, so just throwing it out there. If it gets AoE down, that's perfectly fine because again, we're trying to get the Death Rattle trigger. The actual minion body is actually just slowing us down. So we're going to use Fan here because we want to cycle, but kill the Acolyte first so he doesn't get 2 draws. Just see what we get off Fan. Picking up the Shadow Step gives us the ability to finish the quest here. And then we'll see in a moment why Prep is so powerful in this deck. First we Shadow Step. It's free. Get the quest. And Prep allows us to play the quest for just 2 mana, which is absolutely insane. Our minions that haven't attacked yet turn into 5/5s, and lethal out of nowhere. The power of Prep in this deck is absolutely insane to be able to get that quest out for 2 mana. We have found our worthy opponent. It is a Rexar. Hunter, mostly the first day I saw mostly quest hunters, but now what I'm seeing more is this sort of mid-range hunter. Just runs good quality beasts, Alley Cat and the Jeweled Macaw. It's 1-drops, and then the 2 mana 3/2 adapt a friendly beast. Houndmaster. Just good quality beasts that just try and curve out, and it's seemed a lot stronger than the quest version to me so far, and really struggled to beat it with this particular rogue list. Again here, didn't play the quest on the first turn, played the Firefly. Wanted to fight for the board control, excuse me, wanted to fight for board control with it, and again, we're using the flame elementals to fulfill the quest, not the firefly itself. So playing it before the quest isn't too bad. But this is sort of why I've struggled with the hunter, because Rogue has always sort of struggled to clear wide boards outside of Fan of Knives. And I am running the 2 Fan of Knives for boards exactly like this. But by playing the Firefly here on turn 1, we're at least able to fight for the board a little bit. Here picking up another return effect though, I bounced it back to my hand as a way to create more elementals. And then being able to dagger and have the ferryman absorb that death rattle from him was pretty good as well. At this point I was thinking probably I'm going to have to go for a Vanish to fulfill my quest. But it's actually lined up really well here where we can play the Abyss to kill this Scavenging Hyena, which was about to get way out of hand. And I almost screwed up and played the Ferryman there instead of the Flame Elemental, which has been really bad. But was able to set the card back down safely and eviscerate that hyena. So now we're in a pretty good spot. He's just got 1/1s, we've got 1/2s. We're a couple flame elementals away with 1 bounce effect in the hand. And here he actually makes a mistake by not killing the Firefly and killing the Flame Elemental instead. Well, it's hard to say if it's a mistake. I'd be able to bounce the Flame Elemental if he doesn't kill it and get the second Flame Elemental that way. But by not killing the Firefly, I can bounce the Firefly and then I get an extra 1/2 this way. But here again, we only have this Flame Elemental in our hand. It's the 3rd one. We're still looking for a way to get the 4th one. Which, looking right now like Vanish is going to be the only option. But we'll see what we draw. And there's another return effect. Right on time. With even enough mana to sneak in that Novice Engineer. Yeah, I believe we go up. Oh, we end up going for the Igneous Elemental instead. Because I know that that'll be able to complete the quest with its Death Rattle, and saving the bounce effect for more finishing power. Plus, with the Tundra Rhino on board, I was really scared of just getting bursted down, leaving that 3/1 alive. If we had a Houndmaster or something to turn it into a 5/3, I could have got severely punished by that. So I went this route, hoping I'd be able to kill off my own Igneous Elemental, get the 1 more Flame Elemental I need, and then also be able to play the quest in the same turn. That was the other thing with the bounce plan last turn, was that yes, I would have been able to get the quest into my hand, but I wouldn't have been able to play it. So it wasn't really accomplishing anything. By this, I got more stuff onto the board, and I'm still more than likely going to be able to get the quest. And it even helps me out by kill commanding the Igneous Elemental. which I didn't actually have a way to kill off on my own. So I wouldn't have actually been able to get the quest on this next turn coming up here. Although, as we draw Shadow Step, we would have. But now, we play one more and get the quest. Then we're just going to play the second one to get some 5/5s on the board. That can't charge here. It would have pulled Patches, which I could have used to kill the Tundra Rhino, which would have actually been a better play. Oh wait, no, I think Patches has been used in this game. No, no, it hasn't. That was a misplay. Because Patches is going to come out here. So now Patches takes care of the Tundra Rhino. And we'll see the power of return effects. Kills it. Turns it to full health. 5/5, charges again. We'll return it again. And hey, we'll throw in a 13/13 Van Cleef. The way Van Cleef works with the quest is something that's pretty important when playing this deck. When he's in your hand and you've activated the quest, his base is a 5/5 instead of a 2/2 like he normally is. So you start at a 5/5 and you add +2/+2 for every card from there. But if he's already on the board when you play the quest, it turns him back into a 5/5 from whatever he is. Or up to a 5/5 if he's lower than a 5/5. That's kind of an important thing to note when playing this deck is how you use Van Cleef. You don't want to go for a big Van Cleef the turn before you play the quest, because he's just going to turn back into a 5/5. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone, and see you on the ladder.